thanks to our value of having the empathy and or malasakit, we are able to understand that they're just aspirational. The small and micro entrepreneurs would always want to be a medium someday.
Welcome to our interview series taking place right now at the ATxEnterprise part of the ATX Singapore at the Singapore Expo. And with me today, I have Dindo Marzan, who's the SVP and Head of SME Business Group at Converge ICT Solutions Philippines. Welcome, Dindo. Great to have you at today's show.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. I know that one of your main areas that you're working at right now is the SME space. So in the SME space, we see that a lot of SMEs are becoming a major growth engine for this region, Southeast Asia, and pushing the digital economy for this region. So how have their technology needs changed or evolved over the years? What are you seeing in terms of new trends?
Sure. In the Philippines, we usually refer to the SMEs as the backbone of the Philippine economy, and it's true. About 1.2 million in the Philippines belong to the MSME sector, even though we continuously refer to it as SME, but majority of that are the M's, the micro entrepreneurs. And every Filipino would always have a side hustle or always have that entrepreneurial spirit to really just earn a living and pay the bills.
Yes.
So in our case, we want to make sure that they are well connected. One of that is obviously providing fiber internet connection. But the trends is showing us that before they just wanted internet connection, but now because of the presence of cloud-based solutions, having their productivity and operational platforms online, they really require the internet connection.
Yes.
And then I do see as well that they have become obsessed as well in terms of customer management. So whether it's an online way to handle their customer service or a call center in a box or have an online IVRS, they've been asking for those services. So it's very interesting for me to be in this space because I've been getting all this feedback from the customers, and surprisingly, it's exciting because all this run through the internet connection that we provide. So it wasn't a very difficult thing for us to, in a way, cross-sell or upsell these solutions because the demand is really there.
Because, we see businesses today leverage the internet to get to their customers, to advertise, to even have catalogs online,
Exactly.
right? So without internet, basically, we consume a lot of services, but we consume them we book, for example, our flights through, through a portal, right? So likewise, when we order things from restaurants today, it's all about going online and ordering it there, although we consume it physically. So like you said, businesses are obsessed about internet
and the
connectivity.
SMEs transformed so fast in the past 3 years. Like before, they only needed it to do their social media marketing.
Yes.
And as you said, e-commerce, or even just to send emails. But now, it's all about having their business operations online, even handling their customers, data management. It has the demand and the need to be connected 24/7, always on, has even increased.
Yes, exactly.
So we're happy as telcos to be part of that transformation.
Yes. You have to have the customer contact center live at all times. The chatbot is there, taking orders, processing payments.
Exactly.
The checkout counters must be active.
And how do you run your AI without internet, right? So,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we've just touched about this. The next thing that we are talking about is that apart from connectivity, enterprises also are looking to telcos to support them in other services, where they're looking at bundled services, where connectivity is bundled with security, it's bundled with cloud, and other add-on services.
Correct.
So how's Converged ICT approaching this?
So it's very good that you asked that because in Converge, we've been very vocal in terms of our transformation. So right now, we're known as telco, but we are transforming to a Techco, a technology company. So the internet would always be there, but maybe the other telcos would kill me for this, but bandwidth and internet would always be a dumb pipe, right? And the important thing would be all those solutions running through it. And we want to be first and ahead of of the pack, basically making sure that, and I mentioned it earlier, if SMEs had the internet connection as well, it's very natural for them to look for AI-based solutions, cloud-based solutions, making their business online, available through e-commerce sites, running their online programs. So those solutions, we're actually building the suite or the so-called packages, not necessarily bundled with a service. It can be an add-on. It can be, who knows, next time, a standalone, meaning our solution is a non-telco solution and then paired with a telco service of a different operator.
It's the other way around.
It's the other
People
way
approach
around.
you first for a cybersecurity solution, and then they say, can I add on connectivity?
Don't tell that secret, but that's the strategy.
That's
But
the strategy.
obviously, everyone knows
a lot of businesses evolved that way. I mean, what that was an add-on eventually sometimes becomes a core service offering, right? So you never know, because sometimes you build a clientele in that area and then you improve your services to a level where it actually stands on its own.
And that's the main reason why we are Converge ICT.
I see. Wow, goes back to the name.
Exactly.
So I guess, you stayed true to the, the original idea of the organization, which is actually to offer, all these services to support today's SMEs.
Correct.
So, we have another thing that we want to talk about, which is, many SMEs want to digitize quickly. And you mentioned that, that is how people are approaching customers, how they're approaching their vendors. It's always going online, making their orders, and then receiving that parcel delivered to their physical addresses and all that. So without internet, basically, you don't have your supplies, you also don't have your customers. But, to digitize quickly, you need all the resources and the skills. And I think one of the things is that you need money as well. You need to invest a lot, okay? And you need the right talent. You need the right approach to do it. So, in helping these SMEs achieve this, what's the role that telcos can play?
I think there has to be some sort of empathy and a little bit of hand-holding. When I say empathy, there's a Filipino word called malasakit. So that's basically empathy for us to feel what the micro-entrepreneurs particularly are feeling, for them not to be excluded. We want to be very inclusive in making sure that no one is left behind. Everyone is connected. And that goes not only for consumers, but also for businesses. So in my case, in my business, the micro-entrepreneurs, they usually get left behind.
Okay.
So what we wanted to do is, number one, give really good price or affordable packages. For consumer, we already started giving prepaid fiber internet, and we took a risk there, and eventually that changed the game in the Philippine market. Let's say you load it for X pesos, and then you load it again after a month or two, and
wow, this sounds really interesting.
And
so there's no long-term commitment.
No, none.
So it helps businesses to just use whatever they need now.
Yes.
With a small cost, a very small upfront payment on a monthly basis.
Yes, exactly. So we have that for consumer, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can also offer that to the micro entrepreneurs eventually. So that is one way of like helping them. If they can't afford the postpaid plans that we currently have, they get connected right away. Second, as I mentioned, aside from internet connection or connectivity services, we're also offering non-connectivity services. So when I partnered with technology platform providers, I usually ask them to have like a free tier or a free service so that the micro entrepreneurs can try them first. And then if they want to continue, then that's when they pay for it. Because usually, how would you know what you're missing if you haven't even tried it? But usually, these software as a service or platform as a service providers would already ask you, put your credit card, and then you get billed right away.
Yes.
So,
it's an annual billing, right?
Exactly.
It's quoted in months.
If you want it cheaper, you pay it
annually.
Monthly, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, and it's usually 50% off. So you feel that you're paying a full price on a month basis.
How would our small businesses, our micro entrepreneurs afford that? So at least in my case, I kind of become their negotiator for all these micro entrepreneurs in the Philippines. And when I get that volume price and that favor from the tech partner, I get to extend it to the micro entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and for the tech partner, I suppose it's also it's not eating into their revenues because they have got scale.
Yeah, and they know the volume that they're gonna get.
Yes. So it makes sense for them.
Exactly.
And that's, I think, the critical role that telcos play in that gap, bridging that gap. Because if a small SME is to approach a vendor, they're not going to get the discount, and it's not viable for the vendor as
Imagine a micro entrepreneur going to AWS, right?
and
asking for a discount or free.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
gonna happen.
So you need to collectively approach this, and I think the best mediating person in the middle would be the telco.
We would love to have that role. Yes.
Yes. And so, looking ahead, what role do you see Converge ICT playing here in shaping the next phase of digital growth for businesses in the Philippines?
We are happy, actually, that we have a very good relationship and collaboration with the Philippine government. We have several projects in terms of making sure that we serve or connect the underserved and non-connected parts of our communities, whether they are consumers or MSMEs. And because of that, the private-public or public-private collaboration is key to making sure that we reach those goals. Now, our role is to basically, as you said earlier, one, mediate or negotiate on behalf of the micro entrepreneurs. And then second, in the same fashion as we talk to private companies, we also represent this community of underserved consumers or businesses to the Philippine government. So by working with the Department of Information Communication Technology, with Department of Trade and Industry, we are able to say, oh, we got your back, consumer or SME, in terms of representing you to get what you want, and in a way sometimes demand what you need as a business or as a consumer.
So I'm sure that you have a lot of success stories, some SMEs that you have helped scale or, maybe grow into even a regional player and stuff. What are the major lessons that you have learned from these success stories?
So first of all, it's very interesting. I learned for a fact that our MSMEs would want the service to be affordable, but would demand a lot of features and capabilities. But I do understand as well, and thanks to our value of having the empathy and or malasakit, we are able to understand that they're just aspirational. The small and micro entrepreneurs would always want to be a medium someday or a large enterprise someday. Now, knowing that that's how they feel, we want to make sure that they get to have services that would make them feel that way. And that could be an affordable internet, but with the capability of a corporate, or an free-to-try digital solution, and then it doesn't really hurt their pockets or their bank, right? So I think it's more than I think it's very important that we play that role. Otherwise, these businesses and these consumers would just be excluded as we actually grow rapidly because of AI, new satellite internet connection. I mean, who would be able to afford Starlink, right? For MSME. So even that is a big question mark for us. So we want to be at the forefront in making sure that they are considered, they are included, and their needs and demands are well taken care of.
And at the same time, I think another challenge that you are addressing would be in the cost of serving SMEs or MSMEs would be choosing the right vendors as well. You have to go out there and choose who are the right vendors that you can
That's what I exactly did here. I was like shopping for vendors and speaking on behalf of MSMEs in our country.
Okay, so because you have to do both, right? You have to find and validate the SMEs potential. Okay, and at the same time, you have to find a suite of vendors who really have solutions that would help bring value to this community.
And I think there's a common ground because, as you said, if they know that this would democratize both the internet connection and their IP-based solution or internet-based solution, there's a common ground for us to win because even though they kind of like lower the price, but because of volume, sheer volume of 1.2 million Philippine businesses, there's a way for them to really lower the price, democratize whatever they're providing. Originally for corporate, but now to small size business and consumers also in the Philippines. We need to make sure that they are considered and they get value for money.
And access to the best solutions, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. And Dindo, I think that there was an excellent take, and I think it's truly admirable. What you guys are doing for the business community. All business communities start small, and nurturing them at that phase, gives a lot of meaning to the entire economy.
Our co-founder told me, because I've been in North America for 2 years, and he asked me to go back in the Philippines. And what he told me, and I can always remember this, he said, Dindo, just help the MSMEs. Just help them be connected, get access to the right solutions. The profit will come in after. So I really embrace that that vision, and that's what I've been doing for the 7 months I've been with the company.
Wow, sounds really, sounds really interesting. And you said the word malasakit.
Yes, malasakit.
Malasakit.
Yes.
Yeah, malasakit. I think it's a good ethos, to have. And I guess, it's something that, you can feel proud of being in this business as a telco line.
Definitely.
Beyond profitability, beyond, growth, we are looking at, a bigger agenda, a national agenda as well. So I guess, all the best. In this endeavor, we hope to connect again, at a later stage, and see the progress that you guys have made in this space, and hopefully, we can learn a lot, and other countries can learn a lot as well.
Thank you.